How you doing? Check. Oh my god, guys. Hey, Red Trickster, Jack Chin here. My final, sorry about the creaking noise. My final Obesssion review, summary thing, whatever. Oh my god, this has been like my fourth time recording my voice just in the middle of with the gameplay in the background. Alright, I'm gonna just get the intro out of the way. Hello, it is me, Jack Chan. I'm back. I have some notes here, strips of my final conclusion, my final thoughts, and yep, let's get right to it. Alright, first things first, we're going to get into some things that I had mixed up, some apologies here and there, and we're going to get through this because this is very important. I like this, I want to say this, I wrote this, so yeah, first things first. First thing I wanted to clear up and apologize for. In my previous two reviews, I was saying that Bear was like as young as 20 to 23, maybe 18 even. I am taking that back. He is like 25 to 26, I believe, in the story. Also, Cass isn't as young as I first thought, but still, they are pretty young. They haven't started college yet. They haven't exactly gotten their lives together. It's still a very, very tragic story. Think about it, like what happened to people that have hardly gotten their lives started. Okay. Next thing I want to apologize for, that Nikki Freeman's sweet pussy lips are still glued to my own, because after all these weeks of the movie being out, seeing the movie not twice but thrice, and I still find some juice in that kitty. No pun intended. I also apologize to myself, dearest Trickster. That is 5 a.m. now, maybe 6. The whole sun is up of me writing this. Alright. Now that that's out the way, let's get started. Also hope that it's not too loud because I don't know how far I want to like actually distance the mic from me. I'm holding it up right now as we speak. So I have a final conclusion here, and I have a schizo mode for wacky ideas and theories of this movie, because I've seen like a lot of symbolism and a lot of that nature. I'll start with the initial conclusion. There's age-old little significance. Case in point, the group of young adults was gravely altered by one wish and essentially one person. See, my point of view of what I was trying to make is that, you know, the gruesome story lies with the idea that the wish was unnecessary because Nikki Freeman most likely liked Bear already. Throughout the movie, there's like these weird indications from real Nikki that she actually likes Bear. And they were left in the movie because the director wanted it to be a bit ambiguous, and it definitely helps with the movie or whatever. It definitely helps with like people making theories, making different conclusions, painting different worlds from what they've seen. My interpretation of what would make a crazy story, it would be that they're all young adults. Nikki's actually in the Bear, but the wish was made from realizing his own weakness, pretty much realizing that You know, he probably just didn't have it in him to confess his real feelings. And it's a sad reality because, I'm not gonna lie, you give or a random guy or average guy that kind of power to attain like his crush or his love interest or anything like that, they will definitely possibly go that route. Alright, it's not gonna be like people don't entirely be as empathetic and thoughtful as they should, especially when it comes to romance. Sometimes it could be very selfish, so that I definitely see happening a lot. And as much as people might hate Bear's character or whatever, it's definitely, hate to say it, but it's definitely very realistic. I mean, I know there's a lot of girls out there that I definitely agree for sure. But, yeah. Okay, so what I've been noticing is that everyone's review of this movie is that no one wants anyone to forget that Bear is the main antagonist. Oh my god, he's the villain. Like, yes, we get that he's the villain. We get that he's a bad dude, alright? But there isn't a single scene in this movie that makes Bear look good at all. So the point doesn't really need to be this frequent. I don't know. That's another theory I was getting across in my previous videos, is that it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. It's not a necessary statement. You're making the movie much more simplistic than it is. At least for my taste, anyways. Some people might be satisfied with just that, but not. I like to think outside the box. But yeah, like I said, there isn't a single scene that makes Bear look good in Obesssion. It's just not. Like, a lot of the scenes, he just looks super dark and just sinister. Like, it's really not hard to miss. If anyone's getting the idea that Bear is this good, misunderstood guy, you're probably getting that from the suffering that he's also receiving from Nikki, from being emotionally traumatized. Yeah, he's definitely a victim of his own negligence and his carelessness, for sure, but he's not a victim nonetheless, nevertheless. Not the overall victim anyway. Also, I apologize if my voice is like, sure that this mic is like stuck, like good, because the plug keeps coming out a little bit. Alright. Another thing I want to add. The movie offers so much more if you pay the utmost attention and look with an open point of view instead of the obvious. Like I said, alright, this movie is a clear statement of what power does to reveal a person's true nature. Power doesn't really corrupt, it enables. Saying said from a ridiculously strong yet consistent villain from another story. But that's another story for a different day. Another theory of what I was saying from, I think, my second review. I was trying to make the argument that I really wanted I wanted to be ambiguous, but my heart's leaning more towards, this is my opinion, point of view, or whatever. I really want real Nikki to like Bear. And the reason why I already stated, it would be crazy, it would be fucking batshit if this whole time Nikki actually had good, true love for Bear. But his own selfishness has sabotaged his chance to have a genuine relationship with her, because there's just no genuineness in his body. Like, he's just not a genuine person, because he's kind of a blank canvas. He can't really be a genuine person. There's not really much to his character. Like, if you look throughout the movie, like, his character is just liking Nikki, losing his cat and liking Nikki and being friends with Ian. That's it. Like, and that he's decent with figuring shit out, which is not shown at all for Nikki's situation, for sure. But I digress. But yeah, the point of like what I was mostly trying to make was, we really need for Nikki to be into Bear. It just makes the story so much more tragic, and it's such a better horror story, in my opinion. Now, of course, if she didn't or whatever, and Bear's just like, no, fuck that, you're just gonna like me. Of course, that's also daunting and huge abuse of power and a little frightening. But if that was the case, I do feel that what they should do with that is they should make Bear way more aggressive, because now it's a straight horror story. It's no gray area at all. It'll be straight black and white. Like, this man is a menace. But, you know, that's just my interpretation, my writer intuition. But what I can't shake is there are layers to her and more that meets the eye, even when they're in the car having a conversation, right? She mentions she doesn't feel love. She doesn't feel genuine love or interest with the people that she's around. At least not in the town that they were living in, right? That's why she's planning on moving. She's planning on moving to write love, to write poems, or to write a love story, which is very interesting how she says this to Bear. She says this to Bear while he's driving her home. Almost like a cue or indication of, hey. Because when certain people do things, or in reality, there's layers to it. There's the reasons as to why, like, they do certain things. Or let's say if there's a joke that's made that's a little too true or a little too, like, you know, it can lead to hints. It can lead to certain things and stuff like that. That's just how genuine conversation can be. So that was something that always stuck with me a little bit. I was like, why did she mention this? And I feel like this point is very important, especially when it comes later on in the story that Nikki might have been fooling around with Ian or whatever. But it's like, if this is the case, she hasn't even felt love with him either. But again, it's ambiguous. There's a lot of the stories and rumors we can't really take to heart, because these characters that have said things have proven to be untrustworthy or have ulterior motives as well. So it's like, this is how the story is just constructed. And it's just really, it's so spot on, because it genuinely be like that. Like, especially when it comes to crushes, or you never knew who likes who, or why they like who, or how they actually feel about certain people that they hang around. Especially when you have a whole bunch of fake friends in your group. It's like a very accurate interpretation of being around fake friends, or being around convenient friends. But like, yeah, that was one of the things I was saying on my second review. I definitely meant what I said when I, like, the characters seem very realistic, very like suburban type feel, you know, like it just be like that. It'd be like that. Rumors spread. You have a whole bunch of like he said, she said shit. And it's like you can't really ever take anything people say seriously, because when you do, that could fuck up a genuine relationship. And that's another thing that the story is about. The story is about ambiguousness. It's about having an interaction and taking what you can from it and not taking the whole thing, because as you've noticed before the movie even starts, Bear starts taking a little bit of Ian's advice, but as you can see, I wasn't going very well for him because of rumors, because of, oh yeah, I heard she likes this and I know she likes that or whatever. Like that has genuinely fucked up people's chances with crushes in real life. Like this actually happens. I've seen this happen for sure. We've all seen this happen for sure. That's why it's like realistic and you can feel that, like you can relate to that. That's another reason why this movie is like, I feel like it's been so popular, because when people see this, they like, it's just super relatable. It's not even so much about the scares or about it being scary. Honestly, I think half the people on this planet actually find this movie scary. They just find it scary as to how relatable and how much of a callback it is. Like, oh my god, I've been through that. Damn, I know how I feel. I know what that means. Like, especially when I've seen this movie in theaters twice already, and it's like the reaction has always been the same. Like, it's just the familiarity of it. The familiarity of it is like what keeps the movie like so grounded in It's so grounded in reality. It's so relatable, and that's one of the things that it has going for it. And it's like, I feel like in like a long time we haven't really had movies. I want to say maybe 5-6 years ago, because I want to say before Barbarian, before Smile 1, 2. Our horror movies just wasn't like that. It wasn't really relatable. It wasn't really hidden like that. That's why when you see movies like even Backrooms, like I wanted to make so many reviews of Backrooms, and I might still make a review of Backrooms, but like I've been talking about the Backrooms and the concept of the Backrooms for the longest. Like you don't even want to get me started with that. Like we have Backrooms, a Backrooms type game playing as I'm talking about Obesssion. like don't even get me started with Backrooms. But like, yeah, it's just all about the relatability of it. And it's crazy because like, yeah, that's just what it is. I don't want to go on too much because I only have 20 more minutes of footage. So let me get back to my review. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna go on to one more theory about how real Nikki likes Bear. So I've noticed the freaky Nikki has been like, she kind of destabilizes the way that she's corrupted or the way that she operates. It's very odd. Like from the beginning or whatever, there's this, you'll see it, it's this dark scene where it's like you can't really see Nikki's facial expression, but you can see her silhouette, right? You'll probably see it like up there or whatever. Yeah, you should be seeing it. It'll be shown. Hold on. Alright. That was like around the first time where Bear made the wish. That was initially when he made the wish. As soon as he broke that was the scene you see, right? She comes back into the frame. She comes back to his car, and she seems somewhat still her. Then she pauses for a moment, right? Almost as if the wish is working or it didn't work, but like almost like it doesn't know how to work, or it doesn't know where to start. It's very weird when you rewatch the movie, and when you rewatch it and you see exactly where things went to shit. It's odd, because when things really pop off is after the dinner scene, I believe. That's where the movie just goes straight into Wild City. Like, it's just crazy, right? Because Freak Nikki, the way she operates, she destabilizes gradually over time. Like, from this dinner scene, she's gotten only worse and more unhinged and more schizo and batshit, and it's almost as if Wish Nikki doesn't know how to love Bear. It's almost as if she doesn't know what point of view to, like, she doesn't know where to start. And it's like, why wouldn't she know why is the Wish operating this way? Why isn't the Wish just boom, like, straight away? Like, it's just like instant. Because we see when Ian makes his wish for the $1 billion, that comes instantly, no questions asked. It wasn't gradually, it happened as soon as he asked for it, right? Almost as if the wishes operate depending on the person and the circumstance. So, what if real Nikki actually liked Bear naturally, but the wish was altered in some way, or fluctuating her because she already likes him, or she already loves him naturally? So now that Bear says, I wish she loved me more than anyone in the fucking world, or anything in the fucking world, the wish is like, okay, we're gonna make her love you more than herself. Love you more than, like, it's very weird. It's very strange. And it feels super intentional. Like, it's like this for a reason. That happened like this for a reason. Ian got to make his bullshit wish for a reason. Right? Or I don't know. Maybe we're heading too far into schizo territory too quickly. Honestly, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because seriously, running out of time. I'm glad I'm able to just keep it up with this, because I didn't think I'd be able to have this much to say. But yeah, that's my final analysis about if Nikki likes Bear, like, genuinely likes Bear. Because Wish Nikki isn't just obsessed; she's unsure. She's not sure of how to share that she loves him. Almost like the Wish Nikki has no idea of, like, where to stand. Because I think this is happening because as the movie continues, like, as it plays out, when Wish Nikki was exactly how Bear wanted her to be, Bear was gradually, like, he was getting a little turned off as well. Like, he was becoming disinterested. Like, he was getting distant. As he got distant, his idea of love is also changing. His idea of what he wanted Nikki to treat him as was also changing. So, Wish Nikki realizes this, and she's forced to love Bear more than she already does, which is corrupting her mentality and making her unstable. So, it is interesting to watch. Like, it's interesting to just see, because you can, like, you can see the instability, and it's like to a point where it's like real Nikki is like, you can see where real Nikki genuinely, like, feels like she genuinely wants to get, like, end Bear, and her suffering any means necessary. Like when it comes to like hurting herself, or I don't know. I could go on and on about this. But this is my final initial conclusion. It's that Nikki likes Bear, and the reason why the wish happened the way it did, or Nikki was so volatile, was because real Nikki already liked Bear, but the wish is altering her to like him even more, unnaturally. Alright. Hold on. Honestly, I want to thank y'all for bearing with me this far in already, okay? If you're still here, I appreciate you. We're about to head into schizo mode. For sure. Schizophrenic mode. Crazy batshit mode. We're going to take everyone's word for gospel. The Lord has spoken. Alright? We're going to take what everyone says. Ian, Nikki, Sarah, fuck it, even Bear, right? We're going to take how they act, and we're going to apply it to one story and see what we're going to get. We're also going to, I kind of wish I had some clips of images of what I was talking about with the cats and shit. But we have some cat imagery, and we have some interesting theories as to what the one willow wish, right? One willow wish, or is it one wish willow? One wish willow spawned from. What is it a part of, right? Because we know it's some type of woodland magic. It's some type of... It's twigs, right? It's a bundle of sticks. It's a bundle of magically enchanted sticks, right? Okay. Let me gather my notes here. Ooh, we've entered the arcade area, too. It's time for real fun games to begin, guys. Let's try to have fun. Alright, first off, we're gonna go with what the fuck is the willow wish tree? Right? Fake Nikki, or corrupted Nikki, mentions something about a willow tree, right? She mentioned something about a willow tree, or a willow wish tree, or something like that. She mentioned something like that in her poem, that she says, that she pretty much announces to Bear, right? And about that poem, I want to bring that poem up because I'm not sure if that poem was a pre-written poem from the real Nikki that was stated from the Wish Nikki, that was probably stated against real Nikki's will, because I have a feeling that if that poem was written by real Nikki, then that is definitely like a emotional piece that she probably was not ready to be shared, or some type of diary piece or whatever. I don't know, because it definitely felt very, when she reads it out and the way it sounds very personal. It sounds like something like a dark fantasy almost type thing, which is very odd, because as soon as she finishes saying the poem, that's when Nikki freaks out. Almost makes me realize, or almost makes me think, maybe that poem, her stating that poem was something that like broke the camel's back. They're like, oh hell no, like no, they can't know about this. I never wanted this to be stated. This is something in my deepest, darkest fantasies. And if that's true, then it kind of also adds on to a little bit of what Ian was talking about, because I don't know, like I said, this is schizo mode, so everything is going to be like off the wall. You're going to be handpicking some things that were stated or whatever. Like, it's not coherent. Alright? So you got to bear with me, because this movie almost put me into a fucking coma. Okay? So the first thing we got is Willow-Wish Tree. We have Nikki's poem. We have Ian's possibility of sleeping with Nikki. We have Sarah knowing about it. We have Bear being caught in the middle of this, despite Bear liking Nikki and Ian knowing that Bear likes Nikki. Right? Then we got possibly Nikki's truest self, deepest, darkest secrets, Bear's idea of love, all this other shit, right? And we have the woodland magic. We have the knowledge of nature and ability to create and control nature. So this entity, and I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna be like, wait, what? Who the fuck is this? Or you might know who this is. The entity that's possibly responsible for Obesssion, the One Wish Willow Tree, right, is the god of life, Pan. Now, Pan is... He is Pan. God. He's the god of life, or known as the god of life in Greek mythology. He is typically... His ability is to create panic and disarray with sounds, right? And he can also... He can create panic, and he can create panic and disarray with sound. So he can also control people's emotions. Now, this way explain Nikki's animalistic behavior when it comes to like certain scenes, and what she does with the Bear's cat, right? This would explain a lot as to why she would cook the cat, why she would do this weird memorial thing, right? Literally a day after watching him sleep. Sitting in the dark, resting, just watching him sleep. Do I believe this? It's very possible. Some people believe that Sam, the cat, I believe, right? Or what was the cat's name? I forgot what the cat's name was. But the cat is basically possessing Nikki. And that way, that's how Bear is getting his wish, because the cat probably loved him more than anything in the world. And that's probably why Nikki is doing all these weird things that a regular girl that's obsessed with someone wouldn't do. Like the memorial thing and cooking the cat. Like that was something that would like really shock me for sure, because I was like, why would she do that? In what way would her obsession drive her to cook the cat, unless it's literally the entity's idea of a loving thing to do? Or another theory is that real Nikki was doing it to turn Bear off from her. But my issue with that idea is that, for one, if Nikki had that much control to be able to cook or make a cat sandwich out of his cat, if it came right down to that, she probably would have just killed him or poisoned him or made him sick or whatever, right? Just to end the wish. If she let's just say she knows exactly how the wish goes or what exactly she needs to do by this point, by the time she's cooking the cat, I'm pretty sure she would have killed him, because we've heard her like screaming in pain and treachery, all this other stuff. She would have done what she had to have done, or what she had to do, way before then. So I don't entirely agree that real Nikki has this much control. At least not to that degree, because sure, she was able to hurt herself in certain scenes or whatever, but it's just, I don't think she has that much control for that long period of time. Because if that was the case, then the movie would have been over a lot sooner. Bear wouldn't have woken up that day because she could have put a knife in him while he was asleep or whatever, right? All that jazz. But yeah, do I believe that Pan is responsible for this? It'd be very interesting, for sure. It'd be very interesting for sure. It also, what I would like probably be Pan's revenge for the negligence of Bear for his cat. So I would see how, like, in a twist of events through the willow tree, Pan was able to get its revenge for what happened to the cat, which would be, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think anyone would see that coming, to be honest with you. But like, I don't know why I came to the conclusion of Pan. I don't know what. I guess I think I was researching a willow tree at the time, or what a willow wish tree was. But yeah, that's my conclusion. Alright guys, yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with this review. This it's kind of like my first one ever, like my first initial like serious one, where like I have like actual images and like callbacks and all this other stuff. Yeah, this movie definitely inspired me for sure. That and the backrooms and the directors of course, because directors are about my age, shit, even younger, and it's like, damn, I gotta lock in because I got some pretty good ideas, and I'm pretty sure I could make some pretty good shit. But you know, we'll get there. And this is always a great example that it's never too late to do what you want to do, and it's never too early. That's for damn sure. And don't let anyone tell you you can't do nothing. You're too young for this, or you don't have any idea about this, all this other stuff. Like, no. Always try to do what you can, or see what you can do in life. Because, you know, you never know. Sometimes you might just surprise yourself one day. This is mostly just me talking to myself, really, because, like, I don't know, sometimes I'd be scared of what I can do with my own success. Let's say I wake up tomorrow and I'm as successful as I want to be, I wouldn't know what to do with that. But, you guys, you have a good night. This has been my Obesssion final conclusion video. It's been Red Trickster, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, also, this might also be like my last time, using my PlayStation 5 to record videos, so, yep. I'm excited for that too. Alright. Bye. Wait, I got my deities mixed up there. Sorry, that is definitely why that was in schizo mode. My bad. But yeah, I kind of reviewed a little bit on what I was saying about Pan, God of Life, or whatever. Yeah, my bad. Let's just all take that with a grain of salt. But before we go, listen, I wanted to make a little quick section to just rant about a certain character on that movie. And I bring him up. Yeah, I'm sorry. This guy's a piece of shit, bro. Like, hands down, piece of shit. Like that. Like he's. Also, we got a little time. I kind of wanted to delve a little bit into Sarah as well, but let's focus a little bit on Ian. Let's focus on Ian. All right. So, because this man knew that Bear liked Nikki, right? And he also knew that he was trying to shoot a shot at her, right? So, let's say if this is true, because these are all based off of rumors of what the characters say. We don't really see this happen in the movies like that, and there's hardly any hints of them together, like with Ian and Nikki. But I'm not. Oh my god! I had to stop myself, like mid audio record. Ian wasn't even bro for Bear, bro. I'm sorry. I'm my original audio was a lot more passive and nice about it. Nah, we're taking into account that he did fuck Nikki, right? We're taking into account that he did fuck Nikki, right? Because the man in this image does not look like he's concerned for her. I'm gonna put the image up, right? Look at that and you tell me he looks pissed off. He looks what's that word? Jealous. He looks he just doesn't look concerned for her at all. He doesn't look concerned for her. He just looks like, wow, okay. I thought you like nah, man. This dude is a piece of shit. This dude is a piece of shit. We're gonna go with the story like he did fuck her. He did fuck Nikki, right? Maybe not as consistent or maybe as much as he wanted to. Let's just say that, right? Because I don't know if it's been for 2 years or anything like that. But overall, that's shitty for number one, right? Now we're gonna go on to shittier for number two. We're gonna go on to Sarah, right? Sarah was making pretty much the same rumors as Ian was making, only she didn't take much action. She's just observing and watching. She is also hating from afar as well, alright? Everyone's kind of just jealous of one another's time of being with Nikki or being with Bear or whatever. Like so that's why, like, when the movie ends, it's pretty much kind of just a relief, right? Let's cut to Sarah real quick. Alright, cool. We have her up there? Cool. Alright, now. And it sucks because Bear just didn't feel anything for Sarah at the time. But it's like now that Sarah has introduced some interest in him, that's when he starts feeling for her. I don't know. Let me rest by this corner right quick. This is my new house. This is my new home. I think I like it here. There's no obsessed girls over trying to force their way into my life, and I think I like it here. Maybe this is where I belong. Anyways, thank you guys for viewing my Obsession review, deep dive, if you will. I appreciate it if you leave a like or a comment or whatever. Tell me how I'm bugging about that pan take. But yeah.